How you doing, guys, and welcome back to a new video in my channel. My name is Anthony and I just want to welcome you. In today's video I want to cover one specific thing that a lot of people have been asking me, and in this video I want to share with you 5 different things that you can do to not get played in any country that you want to travel. So as you may not know, so if you go into a different country, like, you don't want to be scammed, you don't want to be taken advantage of. Nobody likes to get and to be taken advantage of. So in this video I'm going to share with you 5 things that you can do in the next trip whenever you are traveling to a different country. So stay tuned. Bah! Alright, guys, so I just want to give you a quick disclaimer of all the things that I'm gonna say. I'm not trying to knock a country down. I'm not trying to say anything bad about any country. I think every country has their goods and have their bads. Most countries are, especially to the ones that you're gonna be traveling on, they're gonna have bad zones, and usually the bad zones is where you kind of like see the most out of the country, especially if you want to see the most. If you want to get culturized, if you want to see the deep things of how is a country. So I'm going to share one thing with you. So the first thing is going to be make sure you wear the clothes and make sure you look like a person that qualifies for food stamps. I'm not trying to say anything about it, but the thing is that you don't want to go to a country. Let's say you're gonna go to Brazil, or you're gonna go to the favelas, and you don't want to look as somebody that has a lot of money, and you also don't want to look as an outsider. Try to just wear something casual, maybe like a tank top, like a short, like some not branded shoes. What I mean by that is, don't try to wear things that you know is a brand like worldwide that most people know about it. I'm not like something like Nike, Adidas, like shoes like those brands. Those are gonna be meaningless for you. You probably like them. You say like, oh, it's like just a couple, like $120 or like $70 that you pay for this. But when you wear these shoes and you go into a country that is really hard for them to access, because who knows the situation, economic situation, you're putting yourself at risk, and this is not something that you want. So make sure you wear things as you are qualifying for food stamps, and that's gonna be my first tip. So the number 2 is gonna be walk confidently, because what I found is that most people that are secure of themselves and they don't portray fear, personally nobody's gonna mess with him. What I found for myself is that walking confidently shows a lot of who you are, because your body language shows everything about you. So I'm gonna share a link with you. I'm just gonna give a link right here, and this is gonna be the video, and make sure you check it down below. So I'm gonna link it, and this is gonna be a video of how to read people's body language. I feel like this is gonna be an important skill whenever you are not only traveling, but whenever you're doing business, whenever you see somebody, if somebody wants to do something with you, or they want to take advantage of you. This video is gonna help you to read how people interact and how you can predict the behaviors of somebody that is gonna do bad to you. And number 3, so whenever you're going to a different country, and if you want to rent a car, you want to rent a motorcycle, you want to rent some type of service, most of these agencies, or most of these touristic agencies, they will ask you for an ID. And what I always do, and this is something that always work with me, is that I have one passport, which is basically the passport that it gets me anywhere that I want to go, and I have another passport which is my expired passport. So I make sure I leave my passport somewhere safe that I know nobody's gonna find it, and I make sure that I bring an ID which is expired, which I'm not gonna need it, and I will show that passport to any agency that they want to get my ID. And the reason for this is because somebody can steal your passport. Like, you don't know what's going to happen to your passport, but as long as you have your original passport, you can go anywhere. So, and not only that, make sure you have like expired identification, or you have an identification that's easy to replace. Don't show your valid passport to a valid agency just because they don't need to know it. Like, you are renting the service. I mean, it's really up to you if you want to show that. Personally, when I was renting a car, motorcycle, I never showed it. And whenever they ask me like, oh, this is like expired passport, I'm like, I'm sorry, this is the only one that I brought with me, and my house is far away from here. I live like a long distance. Would you be able to take care of these? I promise you that I'm gonna take care of that. So make sure you deliver what you're trying to say, and make sure you take advantage of these. So number one, just to give you a quick overview, number one is gonna be, make sure to be aware of what you're wearing. Look as a person that it qualifies for food stamps. Number two is gonna be, make sure you try to look as confident as you can when you're ever trying to go to a different zone, or you're trying to go to a quote-unquote dangerous area. And this is gonna help you a lot to understand body language and to walk confidently, so nobody's gonna mess with you. And that's gonna be number two. Number three, make sure you get a passport, or you have a passport that is expired, so you're gonna use that as an identification to wherever you want to go. And number four, so let's say you want to go to a zone. I'm just gonna give you a quick story. So let's say I was going to the favelas. I know it's a dangerous place. When I was in Brazil, I think it was in 2016, so that's gonna be like 2 years ago, and I know it was a dangerous zone. So what I usually do, I'm gonna show it to you right now, three things. So if I have money, I'll make sure that I'll hide my money. So let's say I have a little bit of cash right here, and most of the times, like, you want to hide this money because you don't want to bring your wallet. Like, for some reason you want to go to a touristic zone that is in the dangerous neighborhood, and you want to experience the whole tradition of the people in there. Make sure you bring your money. Make sure you bring your money in cash. And so what you're gonna do is gonna be, one thing is that you can always hide it in the pocket right here, which is very secure. So right now, if somebody will be like, oh, what is your money? Like, let me see what you have. And I promise you, this is gonna save you one. So number two with the specific tip, which is number four, is that's why you have socks, baby. So that's how you have socks. So you can always use sock, as you can see, and nobody can, even if they steal your shoes, nobody can see what you have in there, as you can see. Number three, if you have a camera, if you have like a cell phone, make sure you hide them well. Like, usually what I do when I was in Ecuador and I was in dangerous neighborhood, which was quite like some of the times, I'll be like here, I'll be walking, and all of a sudden I see something like a bad neighborhood, and you know I'm gonna go into there. I'll go like this, cell phone, pop. Nobody can see what you have. Nobody can see your money. If somebody tells you, oh, give me whatever you have, I'll be like, but I don't have anything, I'm sorry. So, and they all be touching your pockets, which that happened to me like twice. So it's not like I'm telling you these things because I haven't experienced it. I experienced it myself, and I can tell you that this works. That's the only time. But the thing is that this is gonna work really, really good for you. And this is gonna be number 5. So the number 5 is gonna be, make sure you use your credit cards whenever you wanna rent a service, whenever you wanna buy some food, or whenever you wanna do anything. And the reason for this is because credit cards, quote unquote, are safe depending on how you use it. What I'm trying to say, if for some reason somebody is using your credit card, you lose your credit card, or somebody's using credit card in a different country, you can always dispute the charge, you can always get the money back. And to be honest, I did that a couple times, and the banks are always helpful in getting your money back. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not saying do this, but this is what I do for me when something happens. So if I go to a different country, if I get like a credit card, I make sure that I pay taxes, I pay like food, I pay agencies with the same credit card, or maybe with 2 different credit cards, depending which one gives me the more benefits. And this one's gonna bring me to the next point. So the reason what I'm trying to say is that use your credit cards, because And whenever you're going to a different country, I'm pretty sure you're gonna spend a lot of money. I'm talking about like 1,000, maybe 2,000, depending on how long or how much do you want to spend. But you getting a credit card, you can always get the points back. But make sure you know how to use it. Make sure you know what is the terms and conditions of the credit cards, how much you're gonna get back if you're traveling with these points, and you can always use the cash back on these credit cards to travel again, so you can get money back in whatever you spend. And make sure you take these tips. And this is gonna be my 5 tips to navigate play in any country. And this is something that I always apply whenever I'm going to different parts of the world. And 5 years. Luckily, I haven't been robbed in all my travelings, in especially the times that I went backpacking, not even once. So these are the things that I apply to my day-to-day life. These are the things that I apply whenever I go traveling, and make sure you apply into your traveling. I hope this really help you. Don't forget that you can always subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm gonna be sharing more tips, more things that I know, on more of the places that I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna teach you a little bit about some of the history, some of the things that you might be interested on. And don't forget to give the thumbs up. And until the next time, peace. Take care.